Welcome. Look, getting a band 9 in IELTS speaking, it's not just about being grammatically correct. You've got to be sophisticated. So in this explainer, we're going to break down 5 key techniques that'll give your English that special band 9 polish. First up, we've got a really powerful tool called nominalization. Seriously, this is the secret to shifting your language from just describing what's happening to analyzing things with real academic precision. So what does that actually mean? Well, instead of using simple verbs like people move, you start using nouns to talk about the concept itself, like urban migration. It instantly makes you sound more objective, more like an expert. Okay, just look at this comparison. A pretty simple idea like students compete more turns into the much more powerful increased academic competition. See what happened? By turning the verb compete into a noun concept, your whole sentence sounds more formal and way more analytical. Here's another perfect example. Saying factories pollute the air is, well, it's a simple fact. But industrial emissions have accelerated environmental degradation. Now that is a sophisticated analysis. We've gone from a basic verb to a really precise noun phrase, and that opens the door for a much deeper talk about cause and effect. Now this is where things get really good. You can take it to the next level by combining nominalization with other advanced structures. Here, we're using while to show two sides of an issue, and you've got these powerhouse phrases like technological advancement and social isolation. Both are perfect examples of nominalization. It shows a really nuanced understanding. All right, next up, inversion. Now, this is a grammatical structure you don't hear every day. And that's exactly why using it correctly, and not too often, is a massive signal to the examiner that you've got an advanced command of English. You should really think of inversion as your secret weapon. You don't want to use it all the time, but when you pull it out for a key point, it adds this incredible emphasis that makes your argument completely unforgettable. Just listen to the difference. I mean, you could say, we rarely witness, and that's fine. But rarely do we witness. It has this formal, almost literary quality to it. It just adds so much weight and impact to what you're saying. And here's another fantastic use of inversion, this time with not only. This structure just creates a perfectly balanced and super emphatic sentence. It's clean, it's sophisticated, and honestly, it's exactly the kind of thing examiners are listening for at a band 9 level. Our third technique is all about controlling the listener's focus. Cleft sentences are an amazing way to point a giant flashing arrow at the most important part of your message for the examiner. Yeah, think of these like a surgeon's scalpel for your language. They let you precisely highlight the absolute core of your argument, which is incredibly useful in part 3 when the discussions get a lot more abstract. The what cleft is just perfect for this. It takes the most important piece of information and puts it right up front. You're basically telling the examiner, hey, pay attention, this is my main point. It adds so much clarity and emphasis instantly. And in the same way, the it cleft is so useful for pinpointing one specific cause or one specific agent. It just cuts through any possible confusion and highlights your main idea with total confidence. And hey, just like before, you can combine these techniques. Here, you've got a concession starting with while, and it's paired beautifully with a what cleft. This creates a super nuanced and analytical point, and it shows you can weigh different sides of an issue. All right, our fourth technique is hedging. This one is all about sounding more mature, more thoughtful, and making your arguments more credible. Let's see how it works. You know, hedging is really a sign of intellectual maturity. It shows the examiner you get it, that complex issues are rarely just black and white. It stops you from making those big, sweeping claims that are easy to disagree with. I mean, look at the difference here. The first one, technology makes people lazy, is just a simple generalization. It's too simple. But the second one is so much more academic and defendable. Using phrases like it could be argued and may reduce shows that you've actually thought about it carefully. This one is even clearer, right? Social media causes depression is this huge, dramatic claim with no support. But by using hedging language like there is some evidence to suggest or can negatively affect, you're connecting your idea to careful observation, not just pure emotion. This is the language of real analysis. And now for the grand finale. Look at this sentence. It smoothly weaves together concession, nominalization, and hedging, all in one go. This level of complexity, this nuance, this is exactly what a Band 9 performance sounds like. Okay, finally, let's talk about how you actually sound. It's one thing to have advanced grammar, but to sound truly fluent, you have to master the music of English. We're talking about phonological subtlety. And let me be perfectly clear, this has nothing to do with your accent. It's about using features like grouping your speech into meaningful chunks, using stress and intonation to highlight what's important, and using weak forms. All of that together is what creates that natural, effortless flow. So let's try it. Instead of reading word by word, a fluent speaker groups words together. Listen to this. What concerns me most, a tiny pause, is the rising cost of living. Did you hear that? The pause between the chunks and the stress on the important words creates this natural rhythm that's just so much easier for the listener to follow. So, what do you think? Is your English ready for that Band 9 polish? When you consciously practice these 5 techniques, nominalization, inversion, cleft sentences, hedging, and all that phonological subtlety, you'll really elevate your speaking from just being correct to being genuinely impressive. That's everything for this explainer. Remember, these aren't just tricks. They are powerful tools that help you communicate in a more precise and sophisticated way. Start playing with them today, and you'll be one step closer to that Band 9. Good luck!